Now to another segment of In the Legal Know, and today we are tackling a topic that's left many travelers scratching their heads. What's the deal with Real ID, Enhanced ID, TSA PreCheck, and Global Entry? Well, if you're planning on flying anytime soon, you're going to want to stick around for this. Joining me now to sort this all out, the man, the head of In the Legal Know, the one that knows all, Vincent J. Russo. Thanks so much again for being with us.
Wow. What an intro.
Like a WWE type intro.
And I love traveling. So I've made every mistake under the sun in terms of what you need to do and how do you do it. And so I'm going to learn today, too, as I share information here.
Because they keep changing kind of the rules and everything else, you know, what's required when we get to the airport in order to get through security and everything. So let's break it down. My first question, what exactly is a Real ID? And everybody kind of needs one right now?
That's correct. So it all starts with the law. And believe it or not, the law that was passed was in 2005 called the Real ID Act. And that was a federal law that regulated all the states in terms of what minimum requirements there would be for licensing, like driver's licenses. Now, that law was implemented a new rule May 7th of 2025. So if you want to travel by air domestically, you need a Real ID or an Enhanced ID, and we'll get into that. But if you show up at the airport and you don't have one, you're going to have a problem traveling. So I brought my new Real ID license, and up in the upper right corner is a star.
All right.
So that's how you know it's a Real ID.
Don't put that on camera that long because you don't want people to.
Right.
All right. So you just said Real ID and Enhanced ID. So what is that? What's the difference?
All right. So let's break down the difference. Both of them allow you to travel domestically. The Real ID, as I said, starting May 7th, you have to have at least a Real ID or Enhanced ID. I mentioned the star. You go to the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, if you have a driver's license, and you do not have a Real ID, and then you'll renew that license as a Real ID license. All right? That's different than the Enhanced. The Enhanced does a little more. So the Enhanced is similar to a Real ID, but it also allows you to travel by land or sea, crossings between Canada, Mexico, and some Caribbean countries. So you'd have to check that. So if you are someone who travels back and forth into Canada or Mexico, you can get the Enhanced ID instead of the Real ID. But that's only available in 5 states. So it's New York, Michigan, Minnesota, Vermont, and Washington.
Yeah, I remember being in the DMV, you know, waiting online, talking to the woman. I'm like, what's the difference? And also, I guess if you have a passport, you don't really need the Enhanced, but then you could just bring the Enhanced for those specific locations you want to travel out of the country with. We'll talk about it more. But what if I don't?
Right, but that's a great point you're making.
Yeah.
U.S. passport always works for domestic travel and also international travel.
Exactly. So what if you don't drive, though?
You don't drive.
With the Real ID, right?
You still need a Real ID. It's a non-driver Real ID. And so you got to go to the DMV. You have to do this in person. You can't do it in the mail. And you really should pay attention to the document requirements to prove who you are, where you live. Those are all part of the process. So it's going to take some time. Making sure you get all your documents together before you go off and get a non-driver Real ID.
All right, so we have our Real IDs. We're ready to hop on a plane. We get to the airport with our IDs, and then it's like the security lines and everything. So talk to me, because I don't have any of these things. The TSA PreCheck, Global Entry, what are all these things? And, you know,
I'm shocked that you don't have those things.
Oh, I don't travel very. I have 3 little kids. Like, to travel, it takes a lot. So that's,
Okay, so the TSA PreCheck or the Global Entry are both options for people who travel on a regular basis. The TSA PreCheck will allow you to get through the security lines faster. It also allows you to keep your shoes on, your belt, laptops can stay in place, and it's $78 for 5 years. So for those who travel and don't want stress of making sure they're on a long line to get through security, TSA PreCheck is going to help them significantly. Now, we can enhance that with global entry. For those who travel internationally, the global entry will allow you to skip the customer lines when returning to the U.S. And it includes TSA PreCheck. So for an extra, it's $100 for 5 years. The TSA PreCheck, $78 for 5 years. So for an extra $22, if you travel internationally, absolutely. I just got my global entry and used it. It was incredible. I got through customs in less than 5 minutes.
Everyone wants to know you went to Morocco, right?
It
so
was
it was
nice.
A great trip. I mean, it does sound like, especially if you're a big traveler, to spend the money and go through the process of getting these different entry things, it makes it stress-free.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming people, make mistakes. Are there common mistakes when they're trying to navigate all this?
Lots of common mistakes, and I probably have made them all.
This is why you're here. You live and learn.
Waiting to the last minute to apply for the Real ID or Enhanced ID, big mistake. It could take 1 to 4 weeks. A lot of people are rushing still to get those Real IDs, so don't wait to the last minute to get that ID. You also should make sure to check your license and make sure it is a Real ID. So that's something you would want to do right away. Apply early for TSA PreCheck global entry. Avoid unofficial websites. This is really important. A lot of scamming where you'll pay a fee of a couple $100 more to allow them to process it. You can go right to the governmental website and process it directly. You don't need to pay those extra fees. And always double check destinations. There may be different requirements. So a country out of, if you're traveling internationally, there may be a visa requirement. If you're going to the Caribbean, they may or may not accept the enhanced. So those you want to avoid those headaches that can occur. And also just a couple traps. For example, clear. Some people get clear. It's another opportunity to get you through the system through the airport security, but it doesn't automatically include TSA PreCheck. And so having a global entry or TSA PreCheck doesn't automatically give you a Real ID. So you gotta, it's like a pyramid. You start at the base.
Yeah.
Real ID, absolutely, gotta have it or enhanced. Second layer, TSA PreCheck or global entry. Third level might be a clear pass.
But to be clear, you don't need the TSA checkpoint or the global entry. Like, you don't have to pay that extra money in order to travel. It's just to help to make it less stressful, to kind of cut the line, pass your way through security.
It's like when you go to Disney,
exactly.
You pay extra to pass.
Right? Everything costs something, exactly.
Right.
So my last question, best advice for travelers to ensure that they're prepared to avoid any last minute surprises at the airport.
All right, the number one, get to the airport early. All right, and in international flights, 3 months, 3 hours, 3 months, 3 months, 3 hours in advance. All right, just to make sure you've got everything and you're not going to have issues.
Yeah.
Make sure you check now, today. What do you have? What do you need to do to make sure you can travel in the future? And so that's going to be, those are the 2 key points I would make. I did go to the airport once on an international flight, and I left my wife's passport in the house. But luckily, I was there 3 hours in advance, and I was able to get that passport.
Wow, that's
and we were okay. So, check every step of the way to make sure you have what you need.
I'm still laughing about the 3 months.
3 months.
If you got the 3 months, you definitely wouldn't have had a problem.
That could be a movie.
Bring your sleeping bag. All right, Vincent, always a pleasure. This was super helpful for everybody here. So thank you so much.